Hello folks and welcome to Bards and Books. I'm Usman and today I'm going through the books that I've been reading recently, the books that I have up next. What is my current TBR? Where am I at? So, I started off with The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, my first classic. So far I've gotten through Inferno and Purgatorio, so I have Paradiso up next. That's going to be one of the immediate things that I'll be reading. And what to make of this? First of all, this is the translation by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, I believe that's his name. And so I've heard that it's an older style, so it can be a little hard to follow, but I've been enjoying my time with it. You know, this has definitely made for a much slower reading pace. Not because I'm not enjoying it, but because it takes some time for me to interpret what is being said, and often I have to read each section multiple times. You know, I'm taking my time trying to digest it, trying to interpret it until it makes the most sense for me. And so it's been an amazing journey. I did read this originally. I wanted to read this because I'm a big fan of the Dante's Inferno video game. So the first part, Inferno, I had some idea of what to expect playing the game, but obviously it's so much more intricate in the book, and Dante, he really is a great poet. I mean, the way he phrases his sentences, the way he talks about things in metaphors, and of course the allegory behind this whole book is quite profound. There'll be some concepts about this subject that that'll come up that you didn't even consider before. I mean, all the different layers of hell, and you know, all the sin associated with that. We go through, you know, as Dante is going through his journey through hell, he is meeting these famous historical figures and why they are and the level that they are, and their vices and their sins, and you know, it talks a lot about the opportunity for absolution and whatnot. So this is quite a profound work, and I've been enjoying my time with it. Like I said, I've had to reread phrases multiple times until I interpret it into the way that makes the most sense for me, or you know, just trying to get different perspectives and whatnot. So it's made for a lot slower of a read, but I'm really enjoying it, and so I guess that's why I haven't been around much, because this has been consuming a lot of my time. But very interesting. And then we get to Purgatorio, which I guess it dives more into the vices behind the sins. So we meet again famous historical figures, and you know, although they didn't commit sin, the vices were still there, and they're trying to purge all of that from their soul until, you know, they're pure enough to ascend into heaven. Next up is Paradiso. I'm very, very excited to finish this off and see what Paradiso is all about, see what becomes of Dante and Beatrice, you know, his first love, the one who's basically kicks off this whole journey. Yeah, that should be interesting. So if you've read this, let me know what you think. You know, it's my first classic, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So that's that. What did I read next? I read Order of Light by W.D. Kilpack III. Now, this is part of the New Blood saga. I read Crown Prince, Book 1, absolutely loved it. Dived into Order of Light, and I enjoyed it just as much. You know, we still continue with the intimate nature of following these characters that we love so much. The world gets expanded, the character list gets expanded, we meet so many new characters, and you know, the plot is really thickening. So we're being introduced to this order, right? Order of Light, and some very interesting things happening with the characters that we followed in Book 1, going in some places I did not expect, possibly some very dark places, I'm not sure, but this epic fantasy, this dark fantasy is continuing to blow me away with just how amazing it is. And Order of Light particularly really reminded me of Wheel of Time in Kilpack's prose, and his approach to to the world building and a lot of stuff, but Wheel of Time done without the flaws, without all the tedious stuff that I experienced in the series. So if you're a Wheel of Time fan, I mean, this, absolutely, you should check out the New Blood Saga. I'm continuing to enjoy it, so obviously after I finished Crown Prince, I had to order Order of Light, and then after finishing Order of Light, I had to immediately order Demon Seed, which is book 3 in the New Blood Saga. So I'm very, very excited to dive into this. This will come very, very soon after the Divine Comedy, and after one other book which I'll go through right now, but this is absolutely on the list. I can't wait to continue this series and hope that it delivers what it's been delivering so far. So Demon Seed is on the TBR as well. Before that, I will be continuing with House of Chains by Steven Erikson, book 4 in Malazan Book of the Fallen. I've gone through the prologue so far, a lot shorter than the prologue in the previous book, but very interesting. You know, I've heard this is very heavy on the character work, a lot slower paced, people have said, but I'm loving my Malazan journey so far, so House of Chains is definitely up next after I finish Paradiso, and I'm anticipating that I'm gonna love this because I do love character work. I don't mind a slower paced read, as I've just mentioned. But yes, House of Chains, and then we will be having a discussion for this book on most likely Colin's Corner, his channel. So you can follow along. We've done books 1, 2, and 3, chats for that. I'm very excited to chat with the crew about House of Chains, and very much looking forward to this. So after that, I will be picking up another self-pub book that an author was very, very kind to send to me, The Exile of Zanzibar by Daniel Maidman. I've talked about this book already in a previous video, so I won't go into the details, but it's time, you know, it's about time I finally get to this, so I can't wait. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and Maidman was very kind to send this to me, so absolutely that is coming up right after House of Chains. And then, speaking about another series that is just long overdue, continuing self-pub, Curse of the Fallen by H.C. Newell. I will be reading all 3 books back to back to back. So, we got Curse of the Fallen, and then jumping right into the Forbidden Realms, and then jumping right in after that. Actually, after that, I may pick up The Banished, which is a novella. I think it takes place in between books 2 and 3, so I may pick up that if I feel so inclined, if I'm really loving the series. But regardless, I will also read Shadows of Nyn'Dira. This is a dark fantasy, it's an epic fantasy. You can see a trend happening here. You can obviously know what I love. Heard amazing things about this series as well. I'm excited to immerse myself. I will be giving a series review for this after that as well. So I'm anticipating I'll love it, but we will see. And then I just wanted to talk about a couple books that I've received from some very kind authors and that have leaped up on the TBR because I have physical copies now. So first one is Gilded Kingdom, Seventh Born by C.J. Irvin. I've talked about this book already, but now I have a physical copy. It is very heavily steeped in politics, and it's got, you know, it's medieval politics. It's Game of Thrones without the dragons, which is what has been explained to me by the author. So very much looking forward to diving into this and hopefully giving a review, sharing my thoughts on that as well. So after that, by Edward Artis, I received Beautiful World. So it seems as though this takes place in a sort of a broken future, a very flawed future, where I guess narcissism is very prominent. So I'm looking forward to diving into this. If that interests you, you know, give it a shot. Maybe I'll read a little bit for you here. It says, in a broken future, ink-like stains have appeared on people's skin, splitting the world in two. Now the beautiful people all wear masks and live in a luxurious haven kingdom, where strict beauty laws are enforced. The other stainers are segregated to a lawless life in the outlands, ruled by chaos and warlords. So that's just a snippet from the back here. Sounds very interesting. I have been meaning to get into more sci-fi, so Beautiful World by Edward Artis. thank you very much for sending me this copy, and it is being bumped up the list. So those are my reads. That's what I have coming up in the near future. One that I forgot, one that I'm currently getting through right now. I put up a poll, you guys voted, and this won by a landslide. So The Wandering Inn by Pirate Abba is what I am currently going through on audio. Me and my good buddy Nick are doing this. This will be episode 7 of Leveling Up. The chat that we will have will be The Wandering Inn. If you haven't seen my LitRPG chats, I'll link the playlist for you guys. We have all 6 books of Dungeon Crawler Carl on there so far, so this will be episode 7. So far, I'd say I'm about almost halfway through The Wandering Inn, and man, is it long. First of all, it's very long. It's a very nice linear story. It's easy to follow. I like the concept that's being played with here in terms of, you know, LitRPG. Like it has some uniqueness, which is very nice. Not sure how I'm feeling about the characters so far, but the story is very enjoyable. The plot is progressing nicely. You know, the world is expanding. We're being introduced to different factions, and we will discuss it in our chat. Look forward to that. There is a lot to talk about. I mean, it's super long. You know, there's a lot of material, obviously, but a lot of things that I'm enjoying and a lot of things that I'm kind of iffy about. So look forward to The Wandering Inn chat with Nick, and that is my TBR. So that's what will be coming up. Other than that, be on the lookout for a video where I'm going to discuss a lot of my priorities in terms of Grimdark, the Grimdark series that I'm going to be starting hopefully this year, if not carrying into next year. But there are a bunch of Grimdark series that I have been eagerly anticipating, and so I'm gonna be prioritizing that. I'll talk about them in the upcoming video, but that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you liked it, you can hit like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this TBR, what you think of these books, if you've read any of them. That's gonna do it. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you next time.